Warm greetings from the high 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans, live number 2. Thank you for joining me. Happy hump day, everybody. I was trying to find the bishop's wife speaking about this robbery that took place in Brooklyn, New York. I can't find the video anywhere. When I posted it to my community board, I go in, it says it's not available. So now we have to ask ourselves, why is the video not available of him speaking, of the wife speaking to the general public about what happened on Sunday? 2, he says it's not available on live stream anymore from his, I guess, surveillance from the live stream, the robbery itself. Very strange information. I'm going to play you a little bit of his commentary. Lord have mercy, these people. I don't know what to say. I'm going to also read you comments from the news below the video, just to give you a feel of what people are saying around the world pertaining to this robbery that took place in Brooklyn, New York at a church. Very interesting information. Thank you for joining me. Hold on 1 second.
Have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die. What you about to go through. Yo, all right.
Let me read you the caption. That was the pastor right before the men busted through the door. 3 men. That was him giving a sermon about life, I guess. Very interesting information he's talking about. Life experience, going through something, and then boom, all of a sudden 3 people come through the door to steal he and his wife's $1 million jewelry. Stay woke. Police said they received a report that 3 people entered the church with firearms and removed more than $1 million in jewelry from Pastor Lamore Miller Whitehead, who goes by Bishop, and his wife.
I seen them come into the sanctuary with their guns. I told everybody, get out. Everybody just get out, right? Everybody get out. I didn't know if they wanted to shoot the church up or if they was just coming for a robbery. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The bishop, known from his Instagram for wearing designer outfits and extravagant jewelry, says he founded Leaders of Tomorrow Ministry 2013.
I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, why are you so flashy? It's not about me being flashy. It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase, and it's my prerogative.
His bio also says he was adopted as a mentee by then Brooklyn Borough President and now New York City Mayor Eric Adams. See a picture of these two together. Excuse me. Thank you for joining me.
Yo. All right.
Wait 1 second. I'm going to go back a minute. Police said in a statement that no one was injured. An investigation is ongoing.
Yo. All right.
Bishop reported there were about 20 to 25 congregants present at the time, says police. See a guy bending down, one of the suspects. They're walking around the church. This is an ongoing investigation, says the police. No one in this city should be the victim of armed robbery, let alone our faith leaders in Congress worshiping the house of the Lord. NYPD is investigating this crime and will work tirelessly to bring the criminals involved to justice. This is by Eric Adams, New York City Mayor. Whitehead made headlines in June when he said he was involved in trying to negotiate the surrender of a man accused of killing a Goldman Sachs employee on a New York City subway. Who is this mayor? Excuse me. Bishop. Uh-oh. Tongue-tied. Excuse my manners. I'd like to know where's the video of the wife, because somebody's taking the video down. Is it because people are saying negative things about your wife, Mr. Bishop? You decided to have that video removed? She was talking to the news, I believe. So where's that video? Because when I go into my community board, the video isn't available. Why? Why not? Where is the video of the wife talking? African-American female with blonde hair. I believe she's holding a child, if I'm not mistaken. Where is that video and why has it been removed? Interesting. A flashy Brooklyn pastor known for wearing designer outfits and extravagant jewelry says he was robbed along with his wife for more than $1 million while he was preaching at church Sunday. Police say they received a report that 3 people entered the leaders of Tomorrow Church Sunday with firearms, removed the jewelry. Pastor Lamar Miller Whitehead, who goes by Bishop, and his wife were wearing. Police noted the investigation is ongoing, quote unquote. Part of the reported incident was captured on video from inside the church, and a portion of the live stream was obtained by CNN affiliate WCBS before it was removed, and shows that at least one perpetrator holding a gun on the pastor and interrupting his sermon. All right. Whitehead says in the video as he raised his hands and lowered himself to the floor. The video is no longer available on the church's live stream, but Whitehead told WCBS what happened. That all right is pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything right because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, he said. I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face, he continued. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain. And then I had chains underneath my robe. And he started tapping my neck to see if there was anything else. So that means they watched and they knew that I have other jewelry, he said. Whitehead said they were gunmen with firearms raised to deacons at the door as well. There were about 20 to 25 congregants present, police said. My church is traumatized, Whitehead said. The NYPD said they received a report that the suspect took more than $1 million worth of jewelry and then fled the location on foot. They reportedly entered a white Mercedes-Benz vehicle and were seen traveling eastbound on Avenue D, police said. Whitehead is offering a $50,000 reward for information that will lead to the arrest of the people he says robbed him Sunday. I want justice. I want these men arrested, the pastor said in an Instagram video posted Monday. I know somebody knows something and I want to make sure you all know that I'm invested into this, quote unquote. He also said the security system inside the church is going to change and that the plans to hire a therapist for the church to talk to members and children on how to cope with what happened. Pastor highlights ties to Mayor Eric Adams. Oh, Lordy. In 2013, he founded Leaders of Tomorrow Ministry in Brooklyn. His bio states. His church bio also states he was adopted as a mentee by Eric Adams, the former Brooklyn borough president and current mayor of New York. No one in the city should be the victim of armed robbery, let alone our faith leaders and congregants worshiping in the house of God, Adams said in a statement. The NYPD is investigating this crime and will work tirelessly to bring the criminals involved to justice, quote unquote. Whitehead encouraged those responsible to turn themselves into police. I forgive you and I'm praying for you, and I hope that God delivers you from the mindset of who you are at this time, he said. Whitehead and his church have not returned calls for comment. The pastor made headlines in June when he said he was involved in trying to negotiate the surrender of a man accused of shooting and killing a Goldman Sachs employee on a New York City subway. Police ultimately arrested the man before he could voluntarily voluntarily surrender. Whitehead's verified Instagram account details his extravagant shows of wealth, including Louis Vuitton emblazed suits, large jewelry, and flashy cars. In a video on Sunday night, he pushed back against the media headlines referring to him as flashy. It's not about me being flashy. It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase, he said. It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase. If I work hard for it, I can purchase what I want to purchase. Quote unquote. Clarification. This story has been updated to clarify that police received a report about the incident. That's CNN News. Source number one. Well, indeed, you are right, Bishop. You are entitled to buy whatever you want to buy. You want to put a gold choker on a dog or cat, that's your prerogative. Hell, if you want to put one around that 8-month-old baby's neck or wrist, that's your business. But you are leading a flock and you are talking about God, assumingly in church. So one would wonder, why do you need all that jewelry? I find it interesting that he says the suspect patted his neck as if he knew there was more jewelry under there. Well, let's go here for some who probably think this is a setup, because there are people in comments boxes that think that you set this up. Why would he pat your neck to see if you had more jewelry on? That leads me to think that he knew that you had other jewelry on. So one's going to ask, well, why would you have jewelry underneath your shirt and not just have all the damn jewelry showing? Yeah, I'm saying that. Good Christian and all. Why did you not have all the jewelry showing, Pastor? Why wear jewelry on the outside of your clothes and then have other jewelry hidden underneath your shirt? That seems strange to me. What's the point? You just show it all. Why not? As you said, they call you flashy, so hell, why not just show all the jewelry? So a suspect pats your neck like, uh-oh, wait a minute, Pastor, Bishop. Uh-oh, you got more jewelry. Now, open the shirt. We're going to take all of it. This sounds strange to me. He knew I had more jewelry on. They knew I had. But the point is, me seeing you with the jewelry on in a video picture doesn't mean I know that you had the jewelry on underneath the shirt. When I bust through the door, and this is not a setup of any means, I can only see the jewelry you're wearing. Why would I assume you had jewelry on underneath your shirt unless you've told people, hey, I wear jewelry on the outside and I also have jewelry on in the inside. So one could wonder if the jewelry on the outside is fraudulent jewelry. I'm just saying. Stay woke. And this is not to imply that he is fraudulent in his claim of how much the jewelry is worth, but it sounds odd and peculiar to me that these suspects are patting your neck, assuming you had jewelry on underneath the shirt. I'm trying to get in and out if I'm a robber. So I want to go in and I want to get out as quick as possible to make sure I can get what I'm coming to get and get the hell out of there. Why am I going to be patting necks and all of that? I want to get your jewelry. I want to take this jewelry. Get out of here. I'm robbing you. I'm robbing your wife. But I don't rob anybody else in the church. I don't go in the back room to see if there's a safe. I don't go back to see if there's some locked cabinets with monies, tithing baskets. That's another thing. You don't hear anything about a basket being stolen with the money in it. Don't you pass the basket around? You also have verified that you don't take a salary from the church. So as I said on my community board, well, if you don't take a salary from the church, if it's a small church, let's say, and they really don't have enough money to pay you for a salary, then do you also ask the church to tithe? Because how can you keep a church going without monies? And we all know you have to have monies for a church to flourish, let's say. So let's go there. He doesn't take a salary from the congregants, but do you allow them to tithe, Bishop? I'll wait. Why did they not rob the other congregants in the church? Why did they not steal jewelry, credit cards, purses, wallets from the other congregants? Why did they not go in other rooms to look for a safe, money? Stay woke. I'm in there robbing you. Hell, I got to get all I'm going to get. Why not? You mean to tell me that's all they wanted was just your bling bling, your wife's jewelry? They're patting your neck because they know you have jewelry underneath your shirt. I find that very peculiar. And as I said, it's not to make any accusations against this. A man is being fraudulent, setting up this robbery. But something is strange about this, that they didn't rob the other congregants in the church. And you also will see that this is a church right off the sidewalk in Brooklyn, like a storefront, not real jazzy looking. So all this money you're spending on jewelry and Louis Vuitton suits and blazers, one could say, hey, why not go buy a nice building in a nice area and have a church? And it's not to downplay Brooklyn. What I'm saying is a nice storefront or in a shopping strip mall. Not to say you can't be robbed in a strip mall, but you understand what I'm saying. Something where, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. That wouldn't be obvious to kick the damn door in. So they didn't mind kicking a storefront right off the sidewalk. People walking by can see and hear. You had surveillance outside from what we see. White Mercedes parked on the street, right off a curb. I'm assuming right outside so they can get away. This is very strange to me, this whole story. They're willing to kick in a door, rob you, and come right on out. So basically you're saying, hey, that's all they wanted was my jewelry and my wife's jewelry. They didn't want nobody else's wallet, safe. They didn't want no monies from the church. They didn't want nothing they thought we had of value. Stereo system, iPads, computers, phones. You all were live streaming, so somebody had to be filming that. How was it filmed? By a person's personal phone or video equipment in the church? Come on, you all, let's stay woke now. We're robbing this place, but we just want the jewelry from the pastor and the wife. We don't want nothing else. Nobody else's jewelry, rings, credit cards, debit cards, nothing. So we had some picky thieves in the room. Okay. Okay. We're going to go there. Wow, wow, wow. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Woo, can't make this stuff up. Just trying to see. Got some comments. Hold on a minute, you guys. I don't know if I pulled up an article or a video. Let me go to my community board so I can bring more information. Thank you all for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129. Cash App. Show you a picture of this wife. This is a picture of the wife. She gave an interview, but so far, I can't pull it up for some crazy reason. Sorry, this video is not good. He's flashy. I don't know where they are, some function, I guess. That's the wife. They're at some function. Wonder if they got that cross that's around her neck. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Some strange stuff going on. Somebody says they have a hard time believing this was random. Interesting. So you think this was a setup? I don't know why I can't log into this. I don't know why I can't find what I'm looking for. Some weird reason this is not going well. Hold on, you guys. There we go. Strange, 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 strange. Let's play some commentary by Fox 5.
Was robbed at gunpoint right in the middle of delivering his Sunday sermon. This was yesterday. So the frightening encounter was all caught on the church's live stream.
And tonight, the bishop is telling us what was going through his mind as it all unfolded. Arthur Chan in the newsroom now with what he had to say. Arthur.
Lori, Steve, the sermon taking place yesterday, the bishop was asking his congregation if they've ever lost faith after seeing someone die. Seconds later, masked gunmen were in their faces and nobody knew if it was a robbery or if they were about.
See, that's where I find it strange. He's talking about a life-altering situation. Moments later, in comes the gunman. It's almost like they had earpieces in their ear, and they know, all right, now let's bust in the door. He's giving this grand sermon about life-altering situations, being in a life-altering situation, and then boom, in comes the gunman. You have to admit, it's interesting irony, strange irony. My pastor, bishop, is talking about a life-altering situation, being in a life-altering situation, and whoa, boom, voila, men bust in and tells my bishop to get on the ground. They're robbing him and robbing the first lady of the church. You have to admit it's very peculiar. And that's this commentator is saying. You don't know if they're getting ready to shoot all of us, kill us, what? So did anybody just go run straight out of the church? They said people were scurrying around. Then somebody run out of the damn door and say, hell, I ain't about to save nobody but myself. And then you see that guy in the corner. He's not flinching, which is very odd to me. Cool, calm, collected. One can say, well, he lives in the city. They're used to crime. He's used to crime. He's just trying to hold his composure as not to seem frantic. He's not going to intervene because he doesn't want to get shot. You're entitled to your opinion.
About to experience a mass shooting.
Yo. All right.
While delivering a Sunday sermon on a live stream, 3 masked gunmen are seen storming the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in Brooklyn, forcing Bishop Lamar Whitehead to the ground. He says the gun was even pointed in the face of his 8-month-old daughter.
Women and children started to scream, and they put the gun to my back, and they put the gun to my daughter's face. This is atrocious, right? For men to come in during service and lay the entire church down at gunpoint.
The bishop says the gunmen stole more than $1 million worth of jewelry and gems, including expensive watches and even his wedding band. While the sermon was going out live from the 2nd floor of this building, some congregants were there in person.
Second floor.
For the people that come to church that day, it's horrible.
Whitehead once served 5 years in prison for identity theft and grand larceny. In his current life, he is known for his opulent flashiness and claims to be a mentee of Mayor Eric Adams.
Sorry about this.
Attempted
I'm so
negotiating
close.
the surrender of Q-Train murder suspect Andrew Abdullah and showed up at the police precinct in a $400,000 Rolls Royce, but the NYPD took Abdullah into custody on their own.
Wait. I gotta stop this.
$1,000 reward for the arrest of the gunman who robbed him, urging
People can change their lives. Let's start off by saying that before I go into my commentary. If you believe in God, redemption, change your life. Then you may have some people who don't believe in God and still change their lives. This man has been arrested for identity theft, driving a $400,000 Rolls Royce. Boy, you all left that part out earlier. Bling bling, $1 million in jewelry, $400,000 Rolls Royce. Trying to help some guy who was suspect of subway incident. Let me show you what I can do. You want us to honestly believe that you really care about God and live in the Word when you just have to be, as they say, Captain Saberho, show up to say, I can help get this guy out this situation. Hey, he'll listen to me. This is some strange information, or it's just what's expected of people in general. It doesn't matter who they are, criminal, non-criminal, new Christian, old Christian, whatever their beliefs are. People just like attention. Is that what we're seeing right here? A pastor who likes attention. We know that when it comes to stealing people's identity, you have to have some form of lying involved because you're pretending to be somebody else. I don't know the actual charge of who he stole an identity from, or if it's more than one person's identity, but it's a form of lying. It's a form of deception. So are we talking about a man who's pretending to be reformed, but he still got some jacked up ways? He still got some swindle in him, because one's going to say, well, okay, you did 5 years in penitentiary. Where is all this money coming from for this lavish car, jewelry, clothes? As I stated in my live yesterday, where do you live? Where do these two live? What is their income at the moment? How do they make their money? Because if you're not taking a salary from the church, then that means 9 times out of 10, the church doesn't make enough money to pay you a salary, because a lot of pastors do get paid by the church. The church pays the pastor a salary, pastor, bishop, priest, whichsoever. So you're saying I don't take a salary from the church. So that goes to number 2. Do they tithe? As I said, the church can't make it without any monies coming in. So 1, do they tithe? Is he taking the money out of the tithing for himself, he and his wife, family? 3, what do they do for a living? Does this man and his wife work? Do they have viable legal income coming into their pocketbooks, bank accounts? Stay woke. How do you afford a $400,000 car? Did you have money put to the side many years ago when you were out there swindling people? What was the swindle? What was the hustle? Who were they hustling, swindling? Was the wife hustling, swindling, doing identity theft as well? Or was she just reaping the benefits from whatever the husband was doing? Is this more than one person that he was stealing from, or multiple people? Was he working for a corporation, company? Did he have his own company, corporation, using it as a fraudulent company? What was the past crime? Who are all the people involved in the crime, including the victims? Very interesting information. So now all these little secrets are coming back out. Let's finish this commentary by Fox 5. Thank you for joining me.
Them to turn themselves in.
I'm praying for them, but I want justice to prevail, because they can't just run into these churches like this, man. If you can run into the church, you can run anywhere.
Now, it's unclear tonight if the suspects knew their armed robbery was being filmed, including them getting into a white Mercedes and taking off. Regardless, the bishop says he will continue to hold services. As of right now, no arrests have been made.
Let's read the comments from this Fox 5 New York video. As a Chicago-based black man, does anyone else smell a juicy smoothie situation here? None in this video seems truly shocked. Either this pastor was staging an insurance scam, or heinous crimes in NYC are totally expected and accepted, which also sadly seems to be the case even in my own city. This is insurance fraud at its worst. This is Dennis Hargrove. One thing I learned during my 20 years, 2 weeks and 2 days in the Marine Corps is know your enemy and be aware of your surroundings. Here is my take on what I see. This raises more questions than anything. Number 1, if his congregation is big enough to pay him like that, there would have been NYPD presence for traffic control in the parking lot. Well, they didn't have a parking lot, sir. Number 2, check his tax records, because the material things in his reported salary probably will not match. Number 3, he knew the robbers. He was not panicked and casually got on the floor, not in haste, out of fear. Number 4, the guy sitting over his right shoulder was in on it. He sat calmly and never moved. Did not run, get on the floor, take cover, sit there calm through it all, because he knew there wasn't any danger. Number 5, if the pastor is earning that kind of money, there are some wealthy people in attendance. Why not rob them? Bingo card, thank you. Somebody heard the queen. Number 6, the gunmen were casual. They knew where there would be no resistance. They did not have their weapons at the ready for unexpected confrontation. That's very interesting as well. Number 7, his first report was 400,000, not 1 million. People under or overestimate property value, but never by 600K. If you look over the fact that this man spent over 5 years in prison for insurance fraud, money laundering, identity theft, and credit card fraud, The entire situation is still unbelievable. He attempted to pull an insurance scam on the church and use the worshipers as witnesses in this scam. This is not the end of this story. Very interesting information. Thank you, Mr. Dennis Hargrove, whoever you are. Let's read the replies to Dennis's commentary. Buck Benelli says, and yet his parishioners or congregation or cult, whatever, will give him more money. Possibly so. And I said it in my live yesterday. You will have some people who will not go back to the church, and then you will have a few who will still support the bishop and his wife and still patronize the church and still put money in the pot, watching him bling blinged out with Louis Vuitton shoes, coats, hats, whatever. Sassy says, you on point. Tally says, wow, you said it. I agree. Big A, googly eye emojis. Leon says, I'm going to agree with you, Dennis. Just didn't look right. Just keeping it 100 says, yo, did an interview in a Sergio track jacket. Yo, a hustler. Bingo card. I said the same thing when I tried to zoom that in with you guys while he was talking. He's sitting here in what, a Sergio Valente jogger. So he don't like no cheap clothes. He ain't shopping at no Walmart or no Old Navy. Come on with it, Queen. And like I said, I'm not a hater. I believe you're entitled to buy whatever you can afford. We know that when people are wealthy and well off, they will buy name brand items. They rarely will buy anything of a low brand. But in the end, the thing that people fail to realize about name brand clothes, most of that stuff comes from China. Ting! Bring it to them, Queen. So it doesn't matter about a flat screen, iPhone, Sergio Valente, Liz Claiborne, Marc Jacobs, Donna Karen, doesn't matter. It's made in China, most of the clothes. The only thing that's, I would say that's possibly better brand to buy that's made in Paris, France is Louis Vuitton. Keep it at 100. Because inside of a Louis Vuitton item will be a brown leather patch that has made in Paris, France. They don't say Paris, France. That thing was mass produced over there in China, Japan, Indonesia, somewhere. Bye, Felicia. Stay woke, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I sometimes come out with these clues and answers. Nowadays, everyone is a follower. They follow and believe any. That's the deal. Whoever going to read your comment is ready to open this case in a different way. I bet on this. Monique says, okay, but he has his own business and doesn't take a salary. You have free speech. I just want you to know all the facts. Well, Monique, people are going to judge him according to what he's done in his past, which is he has swindled people. And it is not to say that you cannot change your life. It's not to say you can't reconfess yourself, redeem yourself, become a Christian, born again Christian, but people are going to judge you according to what you've done in life. It's no different if you went out here and killed 6 people and the judge and the jury finds you not guilty and let you walk. Why would I think you wouldn't go back out here and kill victim number 7? You got away with it 6 times. 12 members let you go free, and then I'm supposed to think that you're going to walk out here and not kill number 7, number 8, number 9. Come on now. And when you've been deemed a thief, people will assume you will always steal. Everybody knows this. You cheat, same thing. Well, he's a cheater. He's always cheated. He had this woman, that woman. He ain't gonna change. He ain't never gonna change. He loves women, blah, blah, blah. You see where I'm going? People judge you according to what you've been found to have done wrong. It's not to say that you can't change, because we know with faith and dedication, faith in God, yes, you can change your life. But you can't tell that to other parties. If you've known to steal one time, people still will think you will steal. You stole money, Ponzi schemes, identity theft, people going to think, oh, can't trust her, can't trust him. Don't leave your purse out. Don't invite him to your house. Don't leave nothing personal out. That's just how some people will think. You can't tell people how to think. Doesn't mean it's right, but it's a person's assumption. And you do have people who have changed their lives, who have swindled people, stole from people, robbed people. They've grown out of that. They've become decent human beings, citizens. They don't break the law. They learn their mistakes. They've gone to jail, gone to penitentiary, paid restitution, and they don't steal. They don't rob. You've heard the stories many times of men who conformed their lives. They'll tell you, hey, when I was a kid, I used to steal. I used to break in houses. I used to rob people. Now they're lawyers or engineers, or they have prominent positions in life. They work every day. They're mentoring children. And who better to teach a child about wrongdoing than somebody who's done wrong, not somebody who's done right. But people are going to judge this bishop just because of the flashy clothes, the jury popping up on the scene to be Captain Save-A-Hole with a serious situation of a guy in a subway. Are we talking about a pastor, bishop who wants attention? He wants to be in the limelight. He wants to be known for something. He wants to be validated. Is that what we're talking about? Is this bishop a fraud? Is he still living wrong? Is this an insurance scam? Come on with it, Quay. I don't know. Just reading you the comments. Synonymous says, I love a smart man. This whole paragraph made me smile. Heart emojis. Chuck Scott says, this guy's a religious scam artist and this robbery was fake AF. Wow, interesting. JT says, pastors like him is why people stop going to church. Interesting. Something is not right with this. This is by Tyrone Ure. Who wears that kind of jewelry during a church service? Is this an insurance scam on his part? Jerry G says, let's talk about the preacher who had $1 million in jewelry. Let's talk about the state of New York actively preventing its law-abiding citizens the right to self-defense. I agree with others here in thinking that this is an insurance scam. 14 replies. Genocide Virus says, no, what's truly atrocious is a self-proclaimed preacher who flashes off the way he does with material possessions. That's the opposite of any of God's word. He isn't praying for nothing or no one either. He just wants his money back. Disgusting. I'm going to stop right there because I think that's the best comment out of the entire comment section. Genocide Virus, whoever you are, you might be spot on what you're saying. Is this retribution by the bishop? This is an interesting comment. I'm going to take it there now. Welcome to Everyday Shenanigans. Is this retribution on part of the bishop? I want to get back what you took from me. Even though I'm the thief, I'm the crook, but I want my money back. I want back my 5 years. I want back the fact you busted my hustle. You stopped me from getting paid, getting my money. You caused me problems. I want my money back. And that's another thing that has been asked about the jury. Was the jury insured? Amen. Now, one could say we're being judgmental, we're being cruel. I'm not making any claims against this bishop. Let me make that clear during this live. I don't know what is the truth or not pertaining to this robbery. I don't know if this is a setup. And I think it's sad if we even have to even think that it's a setup. That's even more atrocious too, to even assume that this bishop set this up. Because why would he set it up? And you do have good people who somehow decide to turn wrong and do insurance scams or do things for attention, validation. But now that you factor in this man's been in the penitentiary for identity theft, fraudulent means, deeds, then all that's going to come into play to how people will judge the bishop and also his wife accordingly. And as I said, it's not to say that he hasn't redeemed himself. It's not to say he hasn't changed, but old habits die hard. When you get used to living a certain way, I don't care if you made the money legal or not, you want that back. A lot of people want that back, let me say some. They want that life back. Hey, I miss walking around in Gucci slippers, Gucci flip-flops. I miss walking around with my $300 Gucci shades. I want that back. I want my nice car back. I want that nice home back with the marble floors and marble tile in the kitchen and bathroom. I want all that back. You stole that from me, even though I'm the damn thief. But hey, I want it back. And what does the scripture say? The devil's got to give it back 7 times. But how the devil gonna repay himself? Shut up, Queen. Anybody listening out there? How's the devil gonna pay himself? Because the scripture says 7 times the devil's got to give back what he stole from you. So if indeed the bishop is the devil, come on with it, Queen, I ain't ready. The devil is trying to repay his damn self. I'm done. Woo! What they say in church, there's a leak in this old building. And yes, We do have preachers who have lived high off the hog. We've heard of many Atlanta preachers and other preachers around the United States. Yes, fancy clothes, shoes, jewelry, airplanes, jets. A lot of people feel that it's unnecessary to have all these types of items. We had the one pastor that bought his wife a fancy car, and he believed he only bought it for her because he had cheated on her. It got out to the public, and he tried to repay the debt. But let me tell you something about that. That's a T.I. movement too. T.I. move. I don't want no fancy car because you cheated on me. Just give me my damn due bill and you get on with the get on and I'm going to get on my way. How about that? All them little cuties can have you because I know most of them only want you for your money. So, Papa, you just pay Queen her money, restitution, alimony. God forbid, we got children. You pay them a child support and you can sleep with all the little cookies you want to sleep with. Because I know they don't really want you and they don't love you. They just want your pocketbook. Stay woke. But that wife stayed with that pastor. She took that fancy car and stayed his wife. How about that? Is the bishop genuine? Are we talking about a crooked bishop? Are we talking about a fraudulent, deceptive bishop? Is this man on the take? Is he still doing devious business and ways to make money? Is this an insurance scam? This robbery of his jury? Is his jury sitting somewhere in a cushy safe somewhere in New York? Do they have all their jury stored somewhere? Stay woke. And you know what's going to happen, don't you? If indeed this is an insurance scam, you're going to later see the bishop with that jury owned somewhere, he or the wife. And somebody's going to be looking and somebody's going to zoom in on a picture and say, damn, that looks like one of the rings and jewelry she normally wears. Why she got it on now? Because there's always a nosy Parker. Stay woke now. Let's say it's an insurance scam. Where is the jewelry stored right now? Somebody's house? Somebody's basement? Another safety box in a bank? Just asking. The fact that they don't have the live stream video anymore, it's somehow mysteriously disappeared. Why is that? Are you afraid that somebody might point something out suspicious in the video? Because don't you record when you go live? Isn't there always a recording of a live stream somewhere out there? And see, the gist of this is that people download things now. So it doesn't really matter if the live stream has disappeared or there's no recording of the live stream in church. You can best believe somebody out there in America has a copy of the live stream. Verbatim, start to finish. And the fact that I can't find a video, hi Pretty K, how you doing, sweetie? The fact that the video I uploaded to my community board yesterday with the wife speaking in an interview, it's strange that it's disappeared. When I go to my community page, it's no longer available. So that means whoever owned the video took it down. Is this a reasoning? Perhaps the bishop has told people he doesn't want anything showing with his wife in it. I don't know. Or did the wife say, hey, I don't want this video up anymore of me speaking? Is it because they're getting flack that this is a scam? What are we talking about? Hello, Joy. Thank you all so much for joining me. Because I find it strange. He says, oh, I don't got the video no more from the live stream. Why would you say that? Is it true? Is it just a matter that the live stream just recorded, but it doesn't keep a recording of the service itself? Is that normal with their recording and live streams? Do all their live streams not get recorded? I guess that's what I'm asking. We will find out, won't we? Too bad for Summer Wells' case. That church kept their recordings of their live streams. Stay woke, everybody. Stay woke. This church don't got no recordings. Hello, Cheryl, honey. Thank you, honey. Welcome everybody in the chat. Newcomers, new subscribers. Welcome to Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you so much for patronizing and your support. 3 years in the making of bringing content to the YouTube queue. Amen. I'm not going to hold you all because I've got back-to-back lives today. There should be a total of 4 videos uploaded in the queue by nightfall. Thank you for patronizing. This is live number 2. The first live was about monkeypox. Do you believe that was a plague from God? For those who didn't watch it, I think I did pretty good in that live. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of flack. It doesn't really matter because everybody's entitled to their opinion. I have yet to say if this is God's plague or not, so don't quote the queen. Until it comes out my mouth, I think it's God's plague, then I didn't say it. I'm just saying, is it a plague? The monkeypox. And is this a plague? People wanting attention. People wanting to be validated. With social media now, everything you see can't be believed. People will put on for the camera, take pictures, pretending to be happy. But as I tell people, when you see pics, selfies of people, today I could be crying, and then 2 hours from now I could be feeling better. That's life. But what do we have here with this bishop? Do we have a fraudulent black man trying to milk the system, trying to get over, trying to recoup what was taken from me? That was a very interesting comment made by this guy in this comment section. Is he trying to recoup what was taken from him years ago when he went into incarceration? He wants his money back. He wants what's due to him. I gotta have it back. I gotta get that bling back, buddy. I'm on one. $1 million, that's a lot of money. And considering he's driving a $400,000 car, truthfully, $1 million is chump change. Because you gotta keep maintenance on the car, you gotta put insurance on the car. Anybody listening to the queen back there? House note, mortgage, light bill, and a big old fancy house with tall ceilings. Somebody listening to me? Groceries high. Shut up, queen. Hey, chicken wings are high. Cheapest form of meat known to man. Pack of chicken wings, damn near $20. Is anybody listening to what the queen is saying to you? But I'm sure he ain't eating chicken wings. He's probably eating, lobsters and fancy fish and lamb chops. I'd like to have them lightly seared, please. Pass me the Grey Poupon. Black man, stop that foolishness. You're gonna end up right back in the penitentiary if this is a scam, sir. And I'm not saying that you orchestrated this robbery in your church. I just think it's sad that you're going into the Lord's house, talking to your parishioners about the Bible and God and wearing all this jewelry. I haven't seen any pastors wear a lot of bling in church. I've seen them possibly with a ring on or a bracelet or to that magnitude, but not a bunch of jewelry with rhinestones and gemstones and, a bunch of gold bracelets. And I haven't seen any pastors wear a lot of bling in church. And I think it sends a bad message. And there's nothing wrong with a pastor or bishop or priest liking jewelry. You're entitled to like whatever you like. As you said, you're entitled to buy whatever you can afford. You are rightfully so can do these things. You want an expensive car? There's nothing wrong with that. But people will look at these things and wonder if you're in it for the right reason. And there's nothing wrong with having a high taste. Be a bishop, priest. But when you're walking around with these items, people are going to judge you. It's just the way it is. I don't expect for you to ride around in a little bitty Toyota Corolla. I know of a pastor, came in the area new. He was driving a little small car, and I kind of looked like, wow, he doesn't have a, big car, he and his wife. Maybe that's all they could afford. But you're accustomed to seeing pastors drive nice cars, whether they're American or foreign. It doesn't have to be a Mercedes. It doesn't have to be a German car, but you are just expecting that the pastor will have a nice sized sedan. So I was stunned when I saw this tall man in this little bitty car. But then it dawned on me, maybe he never rose to that status of being able to afford a fancy car. We'll see. See, that's what happens when you get used to something. It's like you expect it. Why is this big old man in this little bitty car? But maybe that's all he could afford. Maybe he's upgraded since I first saw him in that little bitty car. I don't know. I ain't looking for him. But nonetheless, this is the information I'm bringing to you pertaining to the bishop out of New York. I cannot find the video where the wife gave an interview. They've taken it down for some reason. Stay woke. Let me see if I can find something else. I'm going to play you one more interview, and I'm going to check out of here so I can bring you more commentary of breaking news here in America. This commentary was uploaded 3 hours ago. The bishop is calling on the community to help catch the armed robbery. Now, if you really want to start acting a fool in the chat, he's offering $50,000 for anybody that has information to the 3 suspects that stole the money, stole their jewelry. Are y'all listening to the queen? I think somebody back there asleep. Hey, wake that gal up in the back that done dozed off during his live. Wake up, girl. Yes, the bishop is offering $50,000 to anyone with information to the 3 suspects that stole their jewelry. And how about this? Remember I made a joke yesterday? I said, what kind of car? What make car they drove up in? Wait a minute, a Mercedes, right? Well, what's the year? I was throwing a little shade. Was it a newer Mercedes? Hell, when I saw the picture today, I said, hell, that's a nice looking Mercedes. So we got some broke thugs driving a nice Mercedes. So now we have to ask, is that Mercedes stolen? Because you're a fool to drive up to a church, kick in the door, steal all this jewelry, and then ride away in a car that actually belongs to you or whomever. We're not talking about the pastor's car. We're talking about the getaway car. You see, that's why I tell y'all don't listen. The getaway car was a white Mercedes. I am not speaking about the pastor's car. Speaking of the getaway car. The getaway car was parked outside. The person fled on foot into a white Mercedes. 3 men. The question is, whose car is the Mercedes? Is it one of the thieves' car? You'd be a fool to drive your own car to a robbery. Now we know random people do go up to the scene of a crime in their own damn car because they're stupid. So I'm going to say this one more time. Was the Mercedes stolen? Will we find out that this was a stolen Mercedes? That was the getaway car of this $1 million robbery of jewelry. Stay woke, everybody. Well, Cheryl, you're not the bishop. I think the bishop sleeps quite well at night. And let's ask that. Where does the bishop and the wife live exactly? Brooklyn? Outside of Brooklyn? New Jersey? Where do they live? What's the dollar amount on their house? Since you don't mind telling us that the jewelry is worth $1 million, how much is your house? How much is your house know? Fonda says they changed clothes as they left. I hadn't heard that, Fonda. When I get more information, I'll bring that to the community board. Thanks for that information. Let's talk about this interview here. Thank you all for joining me. Then I'm going to get you all on your way. All right, CBS New York is the source. Second source. Thank you all so much for following the content. Or basically source number 3. Woo! God help us.
A new video of 3 suspects the NYPD is searching for. It's in connection with a robbery that happened during a religious service in Brooklyn. CBS 2's Zania Maldonado spoke with the bishop who was robbed at gunpoint.
Bishop Lamore Whitehead says he is hoping those 3 suspects will surrender, but if they don't, he as well as NYPD are hoping someone in this area will recognize the men and come forward.
See, it's a storefront.
I'm excited, and
I'm gonna let y'all hear that.
Praying that they catch all 3 of them. I'm sure that the community that they're from, I'm sure that someone will recognize them.
These latest photos show 3 men in all black clothing with their faces covered.
Right.
Suspects, police say, robbed Bishop Lamore Whitehead and his wife, Bishop Asia Whitehead, of their jewelry Sunday at gunpoint. Police are now searching for the 3 suspects. You can see at least 2 of those individuals in this newly released surveillance video walking up to the building.
We have pictures of the people that have maliciously violated the church and maliciously robbed myself and my wife in the church, completely violated the church. And I pray that they get captured by the police.
The robbery captured on the church's live stream, showing one man with a gun on the bishop and another removing his jewelry. You then see parishioners scrambling. The NYPD says the suspects took off from the church along Remsen Avenue and got into a white Mercedes-Benz, last seen traveling eastbound on Avenue D.
Brooklyn, that's where my church is. We're a small town, but we have a big sound.
This video is on my community board when you get a clearer picture.
Is going to recognize those
Because I've got my iPad kind of close.
Giving the NYPD $50,000 to go towards a reward for information leading to an arrest. Reporting in Canarsie, Brooklyn, Zania Maldonado, CBS 2 News.
All right, CBS, New York, it's the source. Here are some comments below the video. Uploaded 3 hours ago, Haitian Hurricane says, this individual and his wife are both performers. Portsmouth LAD says, Portsmouth Lab, I have to think this bishop has buddies in the media and City Hall as he is not deserving of all these follow-up stories whatsoever, exclamation point. Anyone who either attends his church and or B feels sympathy for him is hopelessly deluded. He already spent time in prison for credit card fraud, but that fact was buried at the very end of one of the videos covering this robbery. Ridiculous. People in that neighborhood barely surviving and he has all that blame. What did he expect? Exactly. I've said the same thing. How are you going to say, I'm a celebrity, so this is expected for me to get robbed? Oh, well, who are you? As I said before in my other live. Who the hell are you? Because I didn't know who you were. I never heard of you. I mean, are you Jay-Z's cousin? Are you Jay-Z's manager? Oh, you're not trying to put yourself in with the mayor, that you was the mayor's mentee, blah, blah, blah. Maybe the mayor don't want you to really mention his name because now all this negative stuff is coming out about you having a criminal record. You've done time in penitentiary for identity theft. So maybe the mayor don't want you saying, hell, we know each other. How about that? Are we later going to find out the mayor has distanced himself from the bishop, bling, bling bishop? So we're going to start calling you bling, bling bishop. Betty Damn Boot says, start with the bishop and you will have your answers. Those robbers were way too calm. IMO. Ponce de Leon says, that's what happens when you're flossing all around town. I hope these three get away. Wow, that was deep. Why you want them to get away? Andrew responds, I wouldn't be shocked if it was all staged for insurance claim. Ponce de Leon responds back, no doubt, right on camera. It's all too perfect. I kind of agree with that too. Reincarnation A responds, exactly. What the F you need to be so flashy for a sermon? Ain't ego the biggest sin? Exactly. Somebody also says, I'm generally curious how a bishop has so much money. Doesn't the flaunting go against the church? Correct me if I'm wrong. 2 replies. His little church building practically looks like it's falling apart from the outside. I said the same thing. When you go look at this video I just played, it's on my community board. This is a storefront in Brooklyn, right off the street. You just walk right up to it like you would any business. So it's not probably a big place to house congregants. Not, in the realm of 200-300 people. He says, but he and his wife are walking around with nearly $1 million in jewelry and high-end luxury brand clothing, ? How could anyone with common sense feel any sympathy for such a fool? I'm willing to bet he received a huge sum of PPP loan money that was forgiven. Wow. Cognitive Discussion responds to DM Cook. I did notice that. The church doesn't even look prestige. Pretty sure I passed by that sucker during my NYC residency. Wow. Uh-oh, now they testifying in the chat. After hearing what he was preaching right before this happened, I'm very suspicious. Bingo card, Scott. Thank you for saying that. Before the robbery, the pastor bishop is talking about life-altering situations, and boom, somebody kicks in the door and tells, I don't even hear the robbers talking. Did you all hear the robbers talking? I didn't. I just see him going, all right, all right, all right, all right. And he gets on the ground. Then you got a guy in the corner looking around like he's waiting on his Taco Bell to be served. What the hell is going on in this church? Because one could say this is made up, fraudulent, staged, insurance scam, clout chasing, bingo card. Are we talking about a deceiving bishop who did all this for show, all this was staged, insurance claim, and even if it's not an insurance claim, just to get empathy, sympathy. Somebody says he only has 167 followers in his Facebook group. I don't know, but I won't be following him and looking for anything he has to say. Francisco Munoz says, the ones that the NYPD needs to investigate is the bishop and his wife. How in the world you are able to put up $50,000 for a reward, plus all that jury and cars they have running a small church like that? Something is wrong here, folks. I agree. Yeah. God works in mysterious ways. That's funny. Somebody here says, I heard 2 of them are going to MIT while the other tried to get into MIT. He barely missed qualifications by just 0.1 GPA off. He's going to Brown instead. I thought, what is he talking about? What in the world? I'm not going to read anymore because I think we already know that something is amiss, or appears amiss. Let me say that. Appears amiss with this robbery. I think it will be shameful to find out that the pastor is a fraud still. Yes, Gail, I said that if the jury was real. That's why I said you have to ask all those pertinent questions. And as I said, I'm not here to say that the pastor has not redeemed himself. I'm not saying that he scammed these people in any way. I'm not saying he did this for attention. I'm not saying that this is an insurance scam. I'm just reading you the commentary under the articles, under the videos in the YouTube queue, and that there are people who have questions about what took place on Sunday. People are questioning him going into the church. And see, that is the thing about life, is that all it takes is one person to ask a question, and then other people start to ask the identical question, and then people start probing in your past, which they have done. He does have a criminal record, so one or two or more are going to ask these questions. Is this a scam? Was the jury real? Why is it 1 minute it's $400,000, then it's $1 million? Why is he driving around in a $400,000 Rolls Royce? Why is the church in a rinky-dink storefront in Brooklyn, New York? Why is he not taking a salary from his congregants? How many congregants do we have at a given time? How many actual members does he have? Does he take tithing from his members? How is he paying the storefront for this business? Does he own the storefront? Does he own the building? What's going on with this church? I do believe in the commentary I played, it says it was the second floor of the storefront. So many questions. Why has the video been removed where his wife was interviewed? Why can you not find it in the YouTube queue or Google search? Stay woke. Because I look at the YouTube queue, the video's gone. I had it posted to my community board yesterday. It is gone. Why is it removed? Why does he not have a copy of the actual robbery anymore? He says only live stream. Now it's gone. So did no one not record that Sunday service which had a robbery? Why didn't the robbers rob the other church members? Why didn't they steal their purses, clothes, whatever they thought was of value, jewelry, credit cards? Why didn't they go in the back rooms and steal anything out of the church, such as the tithing bowl? You mean to tell me what? They hadn't took up the tithes yet? Do they tithe? Because one knows in order for church to flourish, you have to take in tithes. Yes, the feds may be watching now. Who's to say they weren't before? I don't know. This church started in 2013. I have no idea. As I said, this could all be assumptions that this was made up, fraudulent. Maybe they did steal his jury. Maybe the jury's out there on the black market somewhere being sold for 1% of the value. I don't know. I don't know if the value of the jury is the truth. I don't know if the jury was hid somewhere in a safe and he's gone back and got the jury, put the jury up. I don't know. But people are talking in the comment sections, and I'm just bringing you the information as it's being relayed in the queue. You're entitled to your opinion of the bishop. You're entitled to believe that he's true and genuine, a man of God. You're entitled to your opinion. But I will say the guy in the video was very calm. I do find it funny that nobody else was robbed. Nothing else in the church was stolen, such as video equipment, iPhones, other congregants' jewelry, credit cards. I find all that strange. I find all that strange. And will he have continued support? Let's go there before I check out of here. Will the bishop continue to have continued support by the congregants? Will they still go to church? Will they continue to tithe to church? Will they still have faith in the pastor? Will there be some people that think possibly this was an insurance scam? People do read, people talk, the streets talk. And it's one thing we've learned about true crime. The streets are always talking. Always. I will upload content pertaining to the officers from Minneapolis that were present when George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin. I will bring you that content in an uploaded video to bring you an update to that storyline and other breaking news. It will not be a live. The next live will be pertaining to Caitlin Armstrong. This will be information via Court TV. What do you think? The defense attorney has a new suspect he's introduced as a possible murderer, the boyfriend of Miss Wilson, the murdered lady. You're entitled to your opinion about that story. I'm going to bring you that story next. Thank you all so much for patronizing this network. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $sign Beganji129 Cash App. All stickers, chat, you're welcome during my lives. Is the bishop dirty? Is this an insurance scam? Is his wife aware of it? Are church members aware of it? Were there other people along for the ride in the church? Or are people just jealous and making up stuff because he's flashy? He likes to wear nice clothes, bling, bling, Louis Vuitton, blah, blah, blah. Are we haters? Are people hating on the bishop because he's a black man with a fancy car and a fancy pocketbook? What is the source of income by the bishop and the wife? What do they do for a living? Someone in the chat says he has a business, or somebody in the comment section says he has a business. What is that business? Is it legal? Is it legit? And does it match what he has as far as worldly goods? The car, jewelry, clothes, shoes, purses. Will it match up? Somebody in the comment section said, no, it will not. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for following the content. Today, Tyandra Duff was laid to rest in Knoxville, Tennessee. A mother who was snuffed out during an alleged shooting of a female angry at a man. I do not know what is the truth. Today, I still have not gotten to the gist of what actually happened on that fateful day last Monday. I still believe something's amiss with that storyline. My heart just tells me it was intentional. I could be wrong, but something's off with the death of Tyandra Duff. But she was laid to rest today. My condolences to the family. And I heard that the guy who the bullet was intended for showed out in church today. And they had to sit him down. How about that? You see, the streets do talk. I keep telling y'all that. The streets talk. The streets will come to the queen. So I'm going to say this to him before I check out of here. Tobias, yeah, I'm calling your damn name out because I don't care. Why you show out in that church today? Because I don't think you ever went by the house to show your condolences to the Duff Patterson family, because I didn't see you the first 2 days I was there. But I was there 2 days straight till dark. And I didn't see you, and I didn't hear nobody call your damn name out, that you were the guy at the scene of the crime. So now you go view the body of Tyandra Duff, and you decide to show out. But you know that old saying, old black folks saying, the one that hollers the loudest is usually the one that has something to hide and putting on for show. So they said the children were composed, and you the only one up in that damn church hollering and screaming over a dead woman that you didn't want to give any information to the police about. I find that strange. And then the word in the street is that you posted bond for your little cookie. I don't know if that's true or not, but that heifer is out and she's free. So now we have to ask who posted money and or property or house deed collateral to get Miss Keisha out of jail. Was that you, Tobias? Then I had to say, well, what the hell he got to post $25,000 cash bond or collateral. And then you go up in that church today, hooping and hollering. But yet you're the same one they said wouldn't give information to the police when Tyandra was shot. Now, what kind of friend is that? I keep it real. This is a touchy subject, but I'm going out on a limb to give my opinion about this one case here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm going out on a limb on this one. I think you know more about this story because you were there. And the fact that I can't get a straight answer about who sat where in the car, who all was there, eyewitnesses. Allegedly, you wouldn't talk to the police about what happened to Tyandra. Something is off. And the fact that it was said that the pastor spoke to the mother about how she feels about this situation of her child being murdered. She says, I forgive him. I don't know if she means I forgive him, I forgive her. But she's forgiven whomever, which is this young lady, because she's the one who allegedly was arrested. She forgives her. That's some strong words coming from Miss Teresa. She forgives Keisha for killing her child, I guess no matter the circumstances. And you have to be a noble person to forgive someone who's murdered your child. And for her to speak those words 1 week later is very noble. Not many of us could say, I forgive the person that killed our child. But we know that God will handle all. He's a waymaker. And he will settle the score in the end. So if there's any funny business pertaining to the death of Tyandra Duff, God will handle it. If man fails to right the wrong in this murder, God will most definitely right the wrong. Thank you all so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans.